So, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. It's good to have you with us. We are recording in the morning in a spare 20 minutes between carol service preparations and everything else that's going on. But we still have
All
to
a bit
prepare
mad.
services, Mark, so we're going to do it. So
Yes, we are here, ready for more conversation.
we are indeed. And we're in a strange position this week because I can say I'm not really preaching this week.
Slacker.
And well, I kind of am, but I'm cheating. I'm going to give her a
Uh,
name check. For my Sunday morning service, I am just going to read out of Paula Gooder's book,
so
The
you screw
Story of Elizabeth.
all a good
Well, a bit of
you are.
feminist theology.
Yes. Let's have a bit of that.
We've got John the
Okay.
Baptist in the morning, and I'm going to do Elizabeth's story. So a bit,
Fantastic.
a bit
So
heavier, yeah. And then it's carol services, and you've
it's
got carol
Harold,
service
it's
in the
Hark the
evening,
Herald and Ding Dong all the way.
but not Little Drummer Boy, which is what you've been singing all week.
I haven't been singing Little Drummer Boy. I've been singing Sleigh Ride.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
never
my
mind. I don't
God.
think anyone cares. Right. Okay. Good. So it's carol services this week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you've got a carol service. We've got a carol service. We've got the mayor coming.
I have got a carol service, and again, so I've had carol services all week, the bigger ones with my. When the schools come in, they are my biggest carol services, a few hundred people. And then our church carol service, if I'm honest, isn't that well attended. And I have been told very directly that we do not preach at the carol service.
Okay, I think we could get into some of that. So we thought it might be good to look at the classic carol service ring. So in a way, we are skipping through Advent at this point, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
going ahead to Christmas because that's just the way it goes. So we're going to look at this. This extraordinary reading from John chapter 1. So we might return to this before Christmas again. You never know. But so shall I kick off? Shall I read it through?
Yeah. Am I assuming that you are going to preach on this? On
I'm going to
carol
do
service?
something with it. I'm not quite sure whether it's going to be a whole preach, but
Okay, some sort of homily. Okay, go for it. Do you want to read it?
in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He himself was not the light, but he came to testify to the light. The true light, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came into being through him, and yet the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, and his own people did not accept him. But to all who received him, who believed in his name, he gave power to become children of God, who were born not of blood, or of the will of the flesh, or of the will of man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and lived among us. And we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth.
Okay.
I find it almost impossible to read that passage without getting goosebumps every time I read it. Even sitting here a little bit stressed, like it's I've got something else I've got to do this morning, blah blah blah. But that is a most amazing passage, I think, in the whole Bible, really. It's just extraordinary. There we go. So
It is, and there's always a moment where it's being read. I hate to say it because of my feminist beliefs, but it always sounds better when a man is reading it. I know, it's
and you're
terrible.
recording this and everything, Jenny.
I know, it just does.
But of course, it's so coming
I'm
back.
still not going to let them read it, but
Well, I must admit, this is where I do just put in a little bit of like, I sort out the reading, so I always do this one because I love reading it.
yeah, well, I do think it is the clergy reading. So I still read it,
Well,
but there is a bit of me that kind of goes,
okay. So, okay. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? So, do you preach at carol services is an interesting question. There is a view that, well, I think it depends which part of the church you come from. So,
mm-hmm.
that's a view from the more Catholic side, that the reading speaks for itself. It doesn't need to be embellished or said anything further about. And see, I have quite a lot of sympathy for that. Of course, good evangelical that I am, you're never going to get a group of. What do you mean? We're going to get 150 people in church and we're not going to preach? I mean, that's just like, no, we've got to do that. So, yeah.
Yes, I would normally say something. I would. I mean, I'm in a very different area to I've ever been. I mean, we've not just got the readings talking from themselves. So I've got the chamber choir coming as well. So obviously it's all very beautiful music, absolutely stunning. And that does stir something. Um, I it's the part of interim ministry, isn't it? It's which battle do I fight? Um, they don't want me to preach. I'm only here short term. If I was here in this church long term, I would be telling them I'm going to preach.
Well, but I think there's something to be said for the fact that do you need to preach or do you just let the story, do you let the words speak for themselves? Why do we need to add to it? I think that's a
I
really
think it depends on who's going to be there. And I think, well, personally, we're reading from the authorized King James version. I'm not sure the story speaks for itself.
okay.
Not sure people understand it. Um, but I don't think they do anymore anyway. I think people are starting to come to carol services that don't know anything because it's going back round in a circle. You know, that kind of atheism, new atheism thing is disappearing really, and people are looking for the spiritual.
Hmm.
And a lot of these people don't know the story. So I don't
Hmm.
think the story as it stands does actually speak for itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether we really need to say anything at this point, I don't know. But I'm a little bit like you. I'm a good
No, that-
evangelical.
yeah, you see, it's not
That's
really
fine.
good, is it? Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, what is it about it, do you think, that makes it such an amazing passage?
Well, I love the imagery of light and darkness.
Okay.
And I suppose that's the main thing. Um, Obviously, the fact that Jesus was there right at the beginning,
Hmm.
before everything,
Hmm.
because we often concentrate on his humanity.
Hmm.
Um, but
Hmm.
again, that's also why I think we need to explain that, because I don't think that's very obvious in that passage to somebody who doesn't know.
No, that's true. That's true. Why would it be obvious? Why would any of this be obvious? I mean, it's
No,
like
I don't think the word being Jesus not coming in the book is obvious at all.
so the light and darkness thing. So just say a little bit more about that because I that's not always the bit I go to. I'll tell you perhaps I'll in a moment. I'll just mention which bits
Oh
I go.
right, okay. So at a carol service with people that probably are going to be of no faith as well or different faith, I always go for light in the darkness because I think it's an image that everybody can grasp hold of.
Hmm.
And I talk quite a bit about it. The darker it is, the less light you need to make a difference. Um, so I mean, I come from Nottingham, that ex-mining community. So if you're down in a mine and there's absolutely no light at all, a very dim light makes
Hmm.
a huge amount of difference. Um, and then I've expanded it in many ways over the years. Fairy lights, when they were all joined together as like a community of light, we can all be like fairy
Anytime you
lights.
can get fairy lights into a sermon, it's got to be good, hasn't it?
Fairy
Really
lights
like
are
that.
always a winner.
I
But
like
like, you
that.
don't need to be a bright light. You could just be a dim light, and it still makes a difference in the darkness.
I like that. That might appear on Sunday night at St Margaret's. We'll see.
Okay.
So the bit is that the bit that well, there's two bits. So there's the whole thing of the word becoming flesh, which is, and I kind of I remember thinking about this once that when we do talk about when we speak, our words take on a life of their own, don't they? We might
Hmm.
say that, and
Oh.
I think that's something which people understand. That once um, and so this is just God's words taking on a life of their own on a cosmic scale, sort of thing. I don't know, if that's true for us, how much more if it's true for God that even God's words can become flesh. So I think I kind of quite like that. But the bit that
Oh.
always, I don't know, is that me? Is that mad?
No, but it's clever, isn't it?
Oh, it's clever. I think I don't even remember reading that, so I'm sure someone's written it. But anyway, there we are. I put the copyright on that one. The other bit, which is even more so, is verse 14 for me. I just love it, and I just love it. Even just reading it now, the Word became flesh and lived among us. It's just an
Hmm.
extraordinary. It's the heart of my faith, really. It's the very center of it. It's the very center of what I believe. You know,
Do
it's,
you
it's,
know why? I know I'm only hearing it now, and I ought to have a look. Well, because it's past tense.
Ooh, go on.
Yeah, and surely he still lives among us,
Ah, okay.
but not as flesh, I suppose.
Well, it's an
So,
event. I don't know. I think in fact, I like that because it's yes, of course, we believe that Jesus is still with us and by his Holy Spirit he's with us. But actually, no, this is an event. This isn't just ethereal, spiritual, whatever you want to say that. This is
mm,
flesh. This has happened. This is a real thing. This is history.
yes, the flesh thing is past tense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still here in other ways. Yeah. Okay.
But I like that. That might also appear on Sunday night. We're going to see. I mean, it's going to be a long sermon by this point for what I've been in terms of reflection within a lot of readings and accounts.
Whereas we're just singing
Yeah.
and reading, singing and reading.
Okay. But yeah, that for me, that verse is always just the fact. It's the best verse in the Bible for me. Word became flesh and lived among us. Absolutely.
Oh, you see, no, the light shone in the darkness, and the
Okay. Well,
darkness
we
did
don't.
not
It's not.
overcome
We don't
it.
have to be in competition over it, Jenny. It's fine.
It is so, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really. It is really. Obviously, we really are in competition
I
here.
always
Oh,
put in
obviously,
as well,
Karen,
there's
you
no
want that?
such thing as darkness. Darkness is only the absence of light. Isn't it? Darkness on its own doesn't exist.
So how do we kind of take all this and say something meaningful in well, you're not saying anything at all, but I mean, if you were saying something, uh, if you how would you say something meaningful? I mean, you could say something in a sentence because you can always give it an introduction. You
I'd
can
like
always.
to just caveat this that I have had lots of carol services this week that I have spoken at.
No, I know, and I was at one of them. Although I think I seem to remember you telling us just members to blow our candles out before we burn our hands. But anyway,
Okay.
anyway, okay. So you got one. Maybe you just got a sentence, or maybe you've got a minute or 3 minutes. What would you say? What do you take out of this that just really, hopefully, might be meaningful for people?
If I do it at the beginning, obviously I'm at a candlelit carol service,
Mm,
so I will talk about the light that's shining in the darkness, and that Jesus is the light, and that shines in the dark. And in fact, I'll just reiterate what it says. It might feel that we're dark, we might feel that we're in darkness, but the darkness cannot overcome light.
mm,
And I would probably talk about dark, as I say, darkness doesn't exist on its own. Darkness is only the absence of light, and there is no absence of light. Jesus is here.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I would want to go for something. I like your past tense thing. I actually think there's something in that around. This is a real event. John is recording this is something that happened. He became flesh. It's a real person, and yet this was God moving and being with us in an extraordinary way. And I guess it's interesting to think about to say we have seen His glory, isn't it? Because in some ways, well, it was glorious, obviously, but not glorious in the most obvious way, perhaps.
No, but I mean, how long are you going to talk for?
Well, true.
Because you
Yeah,
could talk on this passage a very long time, couldn't
we
you?
talk on this passage for a very long time. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I think it was John's Gospel that they talk about. Someone said, didn't they? It's like it's toddlers can paddle in it and elephants can swim in it, sort of thing. It's that just extraordinary kind of idea.
But it's true, because I think that's one of the reasons why clergy like it so much, to be honest, because the more you read it, the more you see.
Mm,
And it never grows old, does it? It's
mm.
just, yeah. Mm.
Good stuff. Well, there we go. It's just a few thoughts today, really, to match our few thoughts that we're going to do on Sunday. So this Sunday, if you're at St Margaret's, we've got 8:30 and 11 o'clock as usual in the morning, and then 6 o'clock for our carol service. And at Holy Trinity, what's going on?
At 11 o'clock, we've got BCP Eucharist in the morning, and at 5 o'clock, we have carols by candlelight with the Imperial College Chamber Choir.
Who are really
Yeah,
excellent.
absolutely
Really,
fantastic, aren't
really
they?
fantastic. Yeah, I was there on Monday. It's like, whoa, this is so good. And what's really, what's really kind of amazing about them is that they're not professional musicians, are they? They're all
No,
PhD
most of them.
doing other things. So not only are they brilliant and clever enough to be doing a PhD in
Oh,
Imperial College, and they can sing.
oh, it's sickening. Yes, they're engineers, most of them.
So
A
well
few
done to
many.
Imperial College Chamber Choir. It was very impressive. I'm sure you'll have a great time with us. We've got some. I think we're going to have a really good time as well on Sunday. We've got some. We've got our choir and we've got
You've got
some
singers, haven't you?
other musicians joining us too. So I think we're going to have a really good time. It will be a really good event. So do you come along to either of those? Of course, if you're in another part of the country, come to London. But I hope you have a good weekend, whatever you're doing, singing carols or whatever it is. And
I mean, I promise you that the alcohol flows freely after
well, it does. That's true.
chamber
But
choir.
okay, so that's great. And I think we'll be back next week. We might even look at Advent 4. No, there'll be Mary though, won't it? So we'll definitely be looking at Advent 4 next week. So
Let's look at Mary.
let's look at a bit of Mary. There you go. We'll have to watch that Netflix program before then, but that's next week.
Okay.
Netflix film, isn't it? I haven't seen it. I've just seen it traded. Anyway,
That's it, folks. Let's go,
that's all,
go,
folks.
Mark.
Have a good week. You take care. See
Take
you soon.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye.